Hello and welcome back. My name is Brandon Watson. Today in this video we're going to be going over how to set up flexible charts in Thinkorswim. We'll set up a couple layouts for not only trading using multiple time frames, but also set up a scanning layout to help us identify potential trends. So again, if you found any of this information helpful, I please ask that you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and let's go ahead and get started. So in this video, I am going to assume you already know how to navigate the main single chart screen, and if you don't, then whatever we cover in the flex grid setup can be translated onto the single charts. So moving on, we'll go ahead and click on the flexible grid right up here above the ticker name, and you'll be presented with a 4-gadget layout. And real quick, we will go ahead and link these gadgets together right next to the ticker name so that it will make things easier whenever we're scrolling through our watch list, as well as when we set up our 2-gadget scan layout. So now when you click on the ticker name on the watch list panel, you'll see right away that each one is populated with a chart, which changes after you click into each one, or you can use the up and down arrows to kind of just scroll through that. So it really makes it a lot easier whenever we're on the day or kind of scanning through our watch list or looking for new potentials. And so you'll notice each little screen has a box in the center with 3 buttons, which allows you to add or subtract even more gadgets, though for the time being, we will remove 2 of these so that we can first set up a layout that will help us not only do our scanning at night, but as well as help those on a laptop who, for the most part, have smaller screens. And now that we have 2 screens, we're going to go up to the top and change this to a 1-hour time frame. So that way, whenever we're doing our scans at the end of the night, it'll help us to go ahead and see that 1 hour and daily at a glance, which greatly helps reduce the amount of time whenever you're doing your scans at night. Which now, if you go ahead and go over to your watch list, you can say, all right, well, what makes more sense? Car, making this kind of movement, I don't know, doesn't really look too great. You have this downward movement on the 1 hour, so probably not. Or what about something like FSM we were just on, which has this nice consolidation through the support and resistance. You can see it's kind of higher up there towards the resistance, though if it holds this support here, possible support here, then it goes higher. And now you can see at a glance, a lot easier what you would have had to do by going back and forth, switching between all these charts on the single chart panel. Now we'll go ahead and take this, go click off the customize grid, and then we can save flexible grid. Let me bring this over to my main screen. Save flexible grid. We'll go swing, scan, setup, save. So that way whenever you click back into this little icon, show grid actions, you can switch back and forth between your setups. Obviously, I have some already saved, but you get the idea. Then real quick from here, we're going to set up our chart. We'll go right click, go down to style, settings, go up to your price axis. I like to kind of squeeze this expansion area down by about 10%. You kind of got to play with it based off of your screen. But for myself, I like to squeeze these together so that way these candles aren't pushing too close to the bottom of the chart. It gives us room to work with. Go back to the general. We'll go overlap volume, hit apply on there. You'll see that volume goes back into the chart compared to down here where it's kind of its own indicator. That gives us more room as well. We'll go snap drawings to HOLC here. And what that allows us to do, whenever we right click, go to add drawing, go to our price level here, it will snap to those levels, whichever your cursor is closest to. It'll snap to either the open, the high, the close, the low. So that definitely helps out. Go back to right click, style, and then settings. Go over to time, expansion area. We'll go about 50 bars to the right, hit apply. You see that now pushes the price over rather than having it so close to the price bar over there. I like that. Now we'll go into our studies, edit studies, and I'll make another video on how to, no, you know what? Let's go and just do it right here. I'll make another video on how to use them, but as far as how to set it up, let's gonna set this up exponential. These are the indicators that I use. I'll go and throw on 3 of these by double clicking on it twice. Go into the settings, 9 is what I use. I'll change this to a red. I like to make this a deep red. Let's see, boom, right there, hit OK. Everything else is fine. Pause the video if you want to see the settings, but they're all default for the 9. I just changed the color. Second one is going to be a 25, -5 displaced. Change this to this little purplish color here. The 200. Last one is going to be the 200. Oh, and we'll change this to a yellow line. Go ahead and apply that. Now we have our EMAs. Next one is our RSI. I'll leave that the same. I don't change any defaults to any of these other indicators. I'll use a MACD as well as the TTM squeeze. Hit apply. And you could do a save study set. I already have this saved as a 9, 25, 200 RSI and a squeeze. Actually, I don't have this saved. So we'll save this. It's a 9, 25, 200 RSI, D, and squeeze. Perfect. And what this is going to do is now whenever we go down to studies, load study set, you can change it to whatever you have saved on there, and you can easily switch back and forth. So for the 1 hour, I actually don't use the use the MACD. I just use the TTM squeeze and the RSI. I always use the same 3 EMAs on the 1 hour. On the daily here, we'll go ahead and go to, we never saved this style. Actually, did we? Nope. I have it saved as a main. So let's do this. Let's go to style, right click style, then go to load style, main. Now you see that this is already moved over. My volume is here. Right click, go to studies, load study set, and that's gonna be the MACD, TTM, RSI. You can adjust these bars up and down according to your screen size, how much room you want. Now this is a little too squeezed together, so we'll go ahead and go back to our style, settings, and price axis. Bring that back. You gotta play with it a little bit, and well, I guess I like that better right there. I like that better right there. I don't really need the MACD, but it's all preference. I don't really need it. Let's bring that back down, and now we kind of get that room in there. I like that a lot better. We'll go back and we'll save this. Save flexible grid as the swing scan setup. Don't prompt again. Flexible grid layout with such name already exists. Rewrite it. Yes. And let's see what happens. We'll go from one setup, which is all crazy, to, here we go, swing scan setup. Now it's all taken care of. All taken care of. And that's going to make it a lot easier for us going forward. So this is my scanning setup, but what about when we're trading, or for those who have larger screens? Well, now we can easily just go back up to this actions grid. We can go back to customize grid. Now we can add another chart to it by clicking right here to add to the right. Go ahead and link this. That automatically populates it. And what we'll do here is change this to a 5-minute. Change this to a 30-minute. To a 1 hour. So that way you can see your setups easier. We'll go ahead and take this off for now. No, let's just go with this main. Right click studies. We'll go to RSI and squeeze. Change this back to the 30-minute. And before we click this off, the sidebar, let's go ahead and change, or we'll click on the level 2. And we'll click active trader here. Move those over. I don't like the level 2 here, so we'll add another screen, and we'll change this to gadget to a level 2 here. Link it, take off that chart, bring this over so that we're not taking up too much space. And there you go. If you don't want these sidebars here, you can just click them off. Go back up to here, take off customize grid. We'll go save flexible grid as 3. Oh, let me bring this over. Sorry. We'll change this to a 3 chart trading layout. Now, I don't particularly use this layout myself. I prefer to use more screens, though. For somebody who has a slightly smaller screen, or they want to set up a layout where they have all 3 time frames all at once, this is a good use. Though for myself, what I'll actually do is, let's go ahead and set up my main chart. I'll go ahead and throw this over here. I actually like it a 5-minute, the 15-minute. Link this here, and 30. Bring in another one. Take off the active trader. Link this. Boom, boom, boom. Active trader. I like the daily time frame right there. 1 hour here. You can see once you have everything saved, how much easier it is just to kind of go through this and have it all set up. Take off the sidebar there, take off the sidebar here, take it off here. Studies. Sometimes I'm too fast even for myself. There we go. 30-minute. Take off customize grid. And this is, yep, everything's right. This is my main, we'll say, what is this, 5 chart trading layout. Main. Perfect. Now you can see everything at a glance. You can kind of just zoom in by left click and drag over. It's a lot easier to see the trends all at once. There's no switching screens. It's a lot of time saving. You have your trading system here. If you want to buy and sell, just kind of drag these over, see the price. Bring this down if you want 100 shares. Maybe you want to buy just 1 share, and you can easily buy that. Let's bring this over. You can see that a lot easier right there now. Let's go try that. Now you see buy plus 1 limit, or sell minus 1 limit. That certainly helps out. I don't recommend leaving auto send on. You have your level 2 up here. So that's the trading setup. That's how you set up the flexible grid. Another use you can have, though, is if you have a TV. What if you have a TV? Well, let me go and bring this down real quick. Bring this down. Now I have this. Let me go and expand that right there. Now you can kind of see, if you have a TV, you have your you can have an additional setup. You have your time and sales here. I have the ES market and Q futures at a glance, and 5 different positions. Obviously it's a little scrunched up inside of here, though. When you put it on an actual large screen, it definitely helps out.